You're not in the office. I thought it'd be nice to be somewhere different. Hi, it's me, Camila Rose. Welcome back to another update. How's it been going? How are you doing? Hope you're doing great. Grab yourself some tea. I am today having just some jasmine green tea in my Totoro teacup and saucer. I put in some honey and some lemon. We're gonna do an update. And here's my update for week 8 of my 185 Insane. I thought we'd do a nice new setup, be in a nice new space. I brought all of my trackers with me. I have all of my results. This week was so much better. So the improvement was just astronomical. And if you're not familiar with 185 Insane, it's an author challenge. It's related to changing your life in 6 months. It is something that's kind of similar to like combining changing your life in 6 months and 75 hard/soft. So it's kind of just taking all of these different challenges and ways of changing your life and putting them together. And this is the author version, right? So I have a bunch of different goals and things that I've been working towards and tracking related to writing, movement. I don't have any really related to diet, but I do have some with like how much water I'm drinking and things of that nature. I haven't really changed the way that I've eaten, so that's why I haven't really talked about it. And reading and hobbies and things of that nature. So it's been really fun. Although this week has been really rough, so week 9 we'll have a talk, but week 8 was great. Let's get into my results. So for my writing, I have a goal to write 7K total for the week. I divide that up between, for my major project, which is currently finishing the Venus Intensive, which I want to have all of the content written by, I don't know if you would call it copy, but the words, I need all the words and content of the book to be written by September 1st and then start all of my editing. And I've already kind of started that, which we'll talk about for the next week. But last week I got quite a bit done because I knew there were some areas that I needed to really like dig in and just get completed. So last week I did, Sunday I did 511, Monday I did 532, but I was editing. On Tuesday I did 2,096. I don't know if I've talked about this, but I was really concerned on Tuesday that I wasn't actually writing that much. My cat's here, so if he like does something, just ignore him. But I was really just like, I didn't think I wrote 2,000 words. And it wasn't until the next day on Wednesday when I completed another section that I was finished with 1,300 words that I realized, yeah, girl, no, you wrote that on Tuesday. So that was really nice to see that increase in how much I was getting done. And so I was really excited about that. Thursday, I did 1,148. Friday, I did 1,017. I really need you to sit down, my love. Sit down, okay, babes? Thank you. Okay, 1,017. On Sunday, I did Saturday, I did 507. And then for a total, I did 7,123 for just the Venus Intensive. Then on my second part, I allow myself to do some writing for my other 2 works that I currently have in progress. So on Monday I did 503 words, and then on Saturday I did 563 words for a total of 1,066 words. And then for combining those 2 together, I did a total of 8,189 words. And as a goal of 7K, I did 116%. Super excited, super pumped. That was a really great week. I had a lot more time. You can see towards the end of the week how my word count started to dwindle down a little bit. My weekends are always super busy, and so it's always easier for me to write in the beginning of the week. But as I had such a busy week, you'll see the impact of that really busy week, and I have a really busy weekend coming up in my week 9 recap of how that has impacted my writing. And so that's something that I'm really interested in finding more information about and sharing with you all about, is just watching the patterns and seeing how that plays out. So I did really well with that one. And I even did some editing for my completed novel. And I did 3,254 words on Tuesday, 2,800 words on Wednesday, 2,000 words on Thursday, 1,500 on Friday, and then about 2,000 on Saturday, for a total of, I don't think I totaled those ones up, but it's editing. So I'm not really like tracking as much to see like, am I adding? Am I taking away? And that's why I changed the structure of the goal, was because I didn't want it to be like, I need to do 1K words. And then I'm as a part of that number, I have the editing I have to do, because you take away and you add and you take, it's just it fluctuates, the number fluctuates too much for me to want to commit to that and have that be as a part of my word count. But I'm a little curious, even if I maintain this word count goal, because as I complete the Venus Intensive, I'm not going to be writing as much. So unless I shift that over into writing for like these other works, which I could, and I probably honestly need to do, I don't know if I'm still going to be making that 1K goal as I focus on the editing and focus on the working on actually getting out and publishing the Venus Intensive. So we're going to see how that ends up panning out as I continue to work. This cat, please just sit down, Papa. Just sit down. Just be normal and sit down. Okay, so that's writing. Then we have, so I'm supposed to do 1K of writing in the Venus Intensive, 1K of editing a day. I did that 5 out of the 7 days for the editing. And then for content, post 3 pieces of content a day. And for the last week, for week 8, I did that all 7 days. So 7 out of 7, I'm supposed to work, because I like to give myself days off. But I was like, you need to be getting work done every day. So work at least 2 hours every day. Did that one. For the health-related goals, I have weight training, and I'm supposed to do that 3 days. I did that 3 days out of the week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Technically, I'm supposed to be doing them on my off days, so on the days when I'm not running. But the week was a little off that week, and I knew if I didn't go ahead and just do it on Friday, I wasn't going to have time to do it on Saturday. And I really wasn't looking forward to doing it on Saturday. So I was like, you have to do it on Friday. Like, that has to happen. And it did. So I was able to meet my goal for that. 4 miles, 5 days out of the week. I did that on my 5 days. And then I drink 1 Stanley at least, but I have a 30 ounce of another one. So it's about 70 ounces just to make sure I do it. Now, I drink tea and other things throughout the day, but I'm really wanting to make sure I'm accurately tracking what it is that I'm doing. So I know I just do my 1 Stanley and my 1 30 ounce, and then anything else I consume throughout the day. And I'm working my way up. And I know I drink more than that often, but the only ones I'm like have to track are those. So I did my Stanley and my 30 ounce, and then take my vitamins. I took my vitamins every day, so 7 out of 7. I only did tuning forks 1 time. I don't know if tuning forks will stay on here. I don't know if it's something I'm even interested in doing consistently. I would have to do it consistently to be able to then tell if it makes a difference. So we're on the fence about that one. Then I have running, which is my hobby, because I was like, I need to get a hobby. I need to have like a life. And so I added running. At first I thought it needed to be something creative, realized it didn't. Added running. I do running 4 days out of the week. And so that's why those are my off days. So I have 4 days run, 3 days off where I do weight training instead. And for running, I do those on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, unless something comes up, and then I'll switch it to another day. But I adjust my schedule as necessary. And then, so I met that goal. And then for personal, I have no socials before 9. I did that out of 6 out of 7 days. I think on that Friday, I had like clicked in by habit, because I can't access the apps until after 9 o'clock. But I think I accidentally went through on the website to get to it. So, And then after 9, I've never struggled with after 9 getting on the social media apps. I think that's very interesting. I think I just formed such a habit of waking up, checking my phone to see what time it was, and then like as I'm moving about and getting ready in the morning, just getting on my phone and getting on some form of social media, that's really the habit I have to direct into another direction that I have to change. That's the habit I have to change, is I have to repeatedly remind myself and do something different instead of automatically clicking onto a social media website. What I found is the one that I usually would go to would just be Facebook, because it was easy for me to access, and like it's not fun looking on Instagram on a browser or anything like that, but Facebook is very browser friendly. I think that's on purpose. I think it's also part of their framework because they're a little bit of an older one and they're text heavy and all that other stuff. Anyways, but that was the habit. And so even as I wasn't getting on the app as much, I could still get on the browser, and it was just easy for me to do that. And so I am reworking that habit by interrupting the way that I think about it and my automatic like think and go there, and then like behavior wise going through that action. So I'm redirecting all of that. And then my last one is read for 30 minutes, and I did that every day. I love reading. I've been doing great with reading. I've had a great time with reading. I'm probably going to come sit down here once I get done with this and record another video where I talk about some of the books I've been reading and the stuff that I want to read, things that are on my TBR. You see how I'm talking a lot faster? The excitement, the actual like energy behind that. I have not been feeling that energy necessarily towards writing. I think it's because I wrote so much last week, but also that I'm winding down on what needs to be written for the Venus Intensive, that I am just like feeling that decline in the energy towards going to the writing portion of my goals. But overall, last week was amazing. The 8th week was fantastic. So as you all know, it was really about the 6th week and the 7th week that I locked in and actually focused, and I'm seeing the improvements, but I'm also even noticing this week in week 9, depending on my schedule, how that's shifting and changing. So last week I was able to, because I had a lot of space, especially in the beginning of my week, to set aside 4 hours just for writing. I had very specific goals that I was working towards for my writing, and that really gave me time to become successful with that. I haven't had that time this week, and I have another project that I'm working on that has nothing to do with any of this, and I have a big thing I have to do over the weekend. So I don't have the same time nor energy to put into the writing as I did, and so I'm feeling the impact of that, and I have that stark contrast in order to be able to recognize what the difference is between writing when I have more time and more energy and not a lot of things coming up, and writing when I have a lot more responsibilities and my time and my energy needs to be focused on something else. So I know that it's something that like I know if I'm busier, I'm not going to have as much time or energy to write, but at the same time, being able to really track and see the difference, and to know therefore that schedule time to have downtime to make sure I can write, and then also be able to allow myself to fluctuate and be gentle and kind to myself, not beat myself up just because one week I did really great and the next week not so much. Like my words that I've written and the time I've spent preparing for my event this weekend is probably, in my mind, equivalent to the time and the words that would have been written on my project had I exchanged them. So it is an equal exchange. The energy and the time is going somewhere. It's just not going towards this because I have something else I have to do. And I think that's it. Anyways, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna actually go and record another video. I wanna record about my books I've been reading. So we'll talk about that in a second. I hope you've been doing great. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.